So it's been a little while, and I haven't forgot about you guys. I just been a little busy. So I've been a little busy with some work stuff, transitioning from a job that I've had for not the same job, with the same company for 17 years. So a lot of changes, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and not a whole lot of time to sit down and do a video. But I do have something for you. So I want to start with telling you a story, something that happened about a month ago. So about a month ago, my mom contacted me, and she was like, "Hey, I rented this Airbnb in Mountain Home, and I'm not going to be able to make the dates. It's too late to cancel. Do you know anybody that can stay in there? They can go stay for free." So I was like, I'm somebody. Talked to Brooke, and she was like, "Yeah, we can do this." So we hurry up, load up in the car, and there was just a little bit of an obstacle. This was right around the time that we got the snow about a month ago. And so I drive Arkansas, check the roads. Roads are clear the whole way. It's like, hey, we can do this. So get all the kids in the car, head out, trying to make it there before dark. Didn't make it. Roads were clear the entire way until we turn off of the highway, and I don't even remember what highway it is, maybe like Highway 5. Anyway, and we turn off on this little county road, and it goes from the highway turn to the county road that starts out as paved to gravel. We make a turn, and we're looking at straight up a hill. And this hill is covered with snow and ice. And not only that, I knew we were in trouble when we turned and we look up the hill, and there's a four-wheel drive truck in the ditch. Keep in mind, we're in a two-wheel drive SUV, 6 people in it. So I kind of ease up the hill, and we don't make it very far. So in my infinite wisdom, I do what any normal dude would do. I turn the traction control off, I back up, and I get a running start. Brooke is hollering, we're sliding. There's no way we're making it. Because this is probably like a 20-degree incline. It's packed snow, turn, kind of ice slick. And at the top, even if we could have made it to the top, there's a sharp 90-degree turn. So even if we would have got enough momentum up, we wouldn't be able to make the turn. We would have went straight in the ditch. So we back out. I look at the GPS. It's 0.6 miles to the cabin from where we parked. So I was like, hey, it's dark. We're going to have to walk this. It's either that or drive the 2 hours home. I didn't want to drive 2 hours home, so we all get out. And I'll throw in some clips of us walking. And I think I know what my grandparents meant now when they said they walked to school in the snow uphill both ways, because somehow this was uphill both ways. There was hardly no downhill. So it takes us a little over half a mile walking in the dark. All this time completely trusting that the GPS is accurate. Like, I was putting a lot of trust in the fact that this GPS was not only had us at the right spot, but the distance was right, because it was cold, it was dark, we're slipping and sliding and falling down. I think Lane fell like 3 times. He was not a happy camper by the time we got there. So was putting a lot of faith, a lot of trust in the GPS, the distance being right. So I looked at the map before we left, and I knew, according to the map and the address that was given, that this house, this little cabin, was the last house on this road. And it was, in fact, the last house on this road. And the GPS was probably right. But that 0.6 miles felt like 10 miles in the dark, in the cold. We made it. It took us, probably about an hour and 15 minutes or so to walk it. Then Lucas and I had to turn around and go get the food in the car that we couldn't carry back. So we made it, him and I made it like in probably 20 minutes one way and turn around 20 minutes or something the next way. So here is my point. That circumstance and that story reminded me that I need to be careful what I put my faith and trust in. The foundational truth that I build my life on is because not only that event, but things that have happened lately with my job, I was always under this impression kind of that if I worked hard, that if I did a good job, that if I went the extra mile, that I would be okay. Like that job would be there. And knowing that there was a possibility that it never would, I was putting a lot of trust in that. And I was reminded that how quickly things could change, and how at the end of the day, we have to not put our faith and our trust in our own efforts, our own abilities, solely in our own abilities. Obviously, working hard, making an honest living is a great thing. But all of that can be taken away very quickly. So don't let it define who you are. Find a firm foundation to build your life on. And y'all know where I'm going with this. Y'all know who I am. Some of you only know me as a preacher or a guy that, talks about the Bible or teaches a Bible study. And others, y'all grew up with me. And you may not know my complete story, but you know that I've tried to build my life on the foundation of the truths of the Bible, in particular, one specific truth. And that's the truth of the resurrection. Like, that's the foundation that I've tried to build my life on. And I was reminded the other day how important it is to do that. Because, everything else is not real permanent. I want to encourage you to be careful. I think that's the main point here, is to be careful what you build your life on. The Bible talks about building a man that built his life, or built his house, I should say. He built his house on sand, and the sandy soil, and the tide came, and the rain came, and it washed away the house. And there was this man that built his house on rock, on that rock hard, strong foundation. And that's who I want to be, and that's who I want to encourage you to be. So I don't know how else better to express the fact that no one can take that away from you. And you will not regret building your life on that foundation. So I hope that encourages you. I'm going to try to do better. It's probably going to be a little sporadic for me until I get settled back in my new job. But don't just know that I am I'm praying for you guys, even though when I'm not posting videos. I pray for each of you by name. I'm grateful for each of your friendships. And I would ask the same, that you pray for me. So I hope this encourages you the way it did me.